Heroes. It's Bob and John's Super Duper Variety Power Hour with your host, Bob Katie.
And John Picarillo. And
Chris and Tom.
We almost have all of 151 here. Well, Flat Greg is
And
here.
Flat Greg.
Hey.
Well, welcome to episode 166 of Bob and John's Super Duper Variety Power Hour.
Welcome aboard, folks.
There it is.
There it
I
is.
was waiting for that.
Welcome aboard.
He was on a little delay the other week doing that.
It depends what happens right before.
It depends how much. It depends how much he's drinking right before.
Blame it on Fred.
Yeah.
I held off, but I've got the magic potion today.
The magic potion.
Torpedo and wine.
Oh, no, yeah, but it's a very special wine.
Oh?
Yeah.
Is that homemade stuff?
That's right.
Oh, sure.
That's right.
Sure.
my
Don't
guess.
offer me a glass now. I see how it is. Okay.
Well, you know, if we can conjure one up here, you'll see.
Oh, I thought because you had it in the jug, it was.
Look at.
He's got a peach, a knife, and a bottle.
Well, I got peaches in there. There's real
Oh,
peaches.
yeah.
I'm not messing around. I'm gonna have myself.
Why do I have a feeling that he's gonna I'm gonna come downstairs to the new house one night and he's gonna have a little bar on wheels that he can
Oh, yeah.
just shimmy around.
Mobile bar.
Yeah, little mobile bar, just a little.
You know, you mentioned something about my birthday gift, and I've been thinking if you forgot about it in that car in this heat, it might blow.
No, I didn't forget about it.
Okay,
It got misplaced again.
all right. No, I'm not looking for it. I don't want to go bad. That would be wasteful.
No, Linda took a bunch of stuff out, and it's over at Rachel and AJ.
Oh,
With
okay.
A bunch of
Well,
stuff
just didn't
there,
want
so.
alcohol.
It's traveling the world before it gets to you.
You don't want whiskey and like 110. Well, in the car, when I got in my car today, it said like 110.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No,
got
that's
it.
ridiculous.
Yeah, we're recording this during the hottest freaking day of the year, I think.
When this hits, the hottest week of the year will have been last week.
Yep.
So if the power goes out, you know why.
Oh, thank you. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Thanks, John.
Now, what'll that asshole think of next?
Yeah.
And the lights
going.
went out all over the world.
Yeah.
I wonder if we could get our upstairs assistant to grab a glass. I could make him a cocktail.
Why don't you just go?
We have that technology.
I don't know. Bad things happen sometimes when I leave.
Just leave. We can handle it.
I don't know. You guys better be funny. That's all I got to say.
Well, when are we
A
not?
lot of pressure.
I don't know if I can handle this.
Coming in off the bench.
Yeah, coming in off the bench. There it is. It's time to be funny. Now be funny, you bastards.
And a swing and a miss.
Back goes Serrano. He'll need a rocket up his ass to catch this one.
Just happen to have that one right there.
Had it queued up and ready to go.
Since he's not here, if everybody's been following us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, they'll be seeing some ads for the new 151 album
Yes.
that should be out when it airs. Should be out the following week. Should be out next week. We
Yep.
should have copies and ready to go.
Can't wait. Yeah, artwork looks really good though. That
Yes.
came out really cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, so in the next couple of episodes, music's gonna be changing on the show.
A whole new soundtrack.
Yeah,
Yes.
new intro.
That's right. There's gonna be some 151 music in the hopper.
That's a flat Greg to you.
In the hopper.
In the flat hopper.
All right, now you got to get the full Monty though. A couple little peach slices in
Sure
there.
thing, man. Yeah, I'll take it however you wish to serve.
Tom's got to drink these next couple of weeks.
Well, I do
because
wanna-
He has a long drive after.
I do
next
want the
couple of weeks.
disclaimer. The last person that had my dad's homemade wine for the first time was drunk before we got to the boat.
Well,
I think
not sure
Tom's
if I
had it
can do
before.
that. Yeah,
I think you've given it to Tom before.
I had the dad wine before.
Yeah.
Not with peaches though,
The peaches.
or whatever her name
Really
is.
kicks it up a notch.
Peaches.
Peaches and herb.
Peaches and herb. They had we were that show on Access TV, the Top 10. They had top 10 sex songs a week ago.
Oh, let me guess. They all sucked.
No, I think Tom roped himself into a joke there. He wasn't even going with.
Well, it all worked out, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, number one, they weren't all rock songs,
John.
so
You're welcome.
that
It's pretty wide open.
yeah, they just left it as sex songs, wide open.
Spread eagle.
Yeah. A matter of fact, the Slow Ride was on it.
Nice,
Really?
huh?
Yeah.
It's
I
starting
mean,
to
I
get
guess
that,
the innuendo's there and everything,
Yep.
but I wouldn't think
the
it's
kick, but it's
I
still
think
nice and
something a
fruity.
little more obvious. You know?
Well, number one is how do you not have Rod Stewart if you think I'm sexy?
Maybe it's just too easy.
Yeah,
It's too
I-
low hanging fruit, maybe.
Well, they've had Cherry Pie at number 10.
Okay.
So they had Love in an Elevator. Okay.
Yeah, I can get that one. Yeah.
Yeah. And, I mean, I think there's better
What's the
songs.
topic? Sexy?
Sex
Sex
songs.
songs.
Songs about
sex.
sex. Songs about
Songs
sex.
about sex.
Number one was Jimmy Buffett.
What?
Come on now.
You gotta be.
Let's
kidding me.
let's get buck naked and fuck.
Is that what that's about?
I had no idea.
Son of
Oh
a
Jesus! I gotta hit his beard.
Why do you want that beer so bad?
Because he's thirsty, dummy.
I used to hold off from my first beer just so I could
Sorry.
make sure it was during the show. These days you're
Yeah.
like,
That was number one. Let's get buck naked and fuck.
They got to really get some new writers on that channel. I'm telling you.
Well, they're supposed to be right in. There's by they preface it by it's by you, the voters. So
I didn't get asked. Did you, Chris?
I didn't. Nobody
No.
consulted my expertise.
No, I thought there were a lot better ones.
If anybody has any expertise in sexual innuendos and songs, I
Yeah.
think it's us.
I would, especially Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do our own top 10 sometimes. Songs about sex.
I think we shall.
Rocket Ride by Kiss would be on there.
Let's
She wants
put
a rocket ride.
X in sex.
Let's put the X in
Yeah.
sex by Kiss.
Look
Not a
like
good
a
song.
muscle and
could
it
do
makes me
top-
wanna flex.
Top 10 Kiss songs about
Oh yeah,
sex.
you make me rock
Yeah,
hard.
we could just do Kiss
doesn't get
songs
much-
alone.
That's the whole Kiss catalog.
yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Grinder by Judas Priest. Oh, wait, never mind.
Well, it is about sex. but
She
not-
Bop by Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah, they didn't have ones like the. They
Can't
didn't
Take
have
With
some-
Myself. Billy
They-
Idol.
And Turning
Yeah.
Japanese.
Turning Japanese.
Yeah, they didn't have that either.
See? They
Sexual healing they had.
Oh, okay.
oh, why not just make it obvious, right?
They, you know what they put the one I figured they might put on there, but they didn't. They had it as like an extra. Was Afternoon Delight.
That's
That's-
surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That should have been in the top 5.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, yeah, just go through the Aerosmith and Kiss catalog and just start pulling out fucking songs.
Yeah.
Walk This Way. Well, what do you think he's talking about?
Jeez, I don't know.
Yeah.
He was talking about eating a bran muffin to stay, keep his colon healthy and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
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 Fiber.
Sweet Emotion. Actually, that's his song about banging Joe Perry's wife. He didn't bang Joe Perry's wife, but
He wanted to.
yeah,
That's crazy.
that she's a bitch and he wanted to bang her.
A spite fuck.
Yes, a spite fuck.
Makes total sense. I've done that.
I mean, gotta wait.
No.
Back in the Saddle again. Wonder what that's about. You know, just go down the list of Aerosmith songs.
My whole world has just been shattered. I thought these were all like deep metaphors for something.
Yes.
All sex.
All these all
Nothing but sex.
God damn it.
no Maiden songs on that list, though.
Surprising.
I don't think they
That's-
have anything.
No, not that I know of.
Well, Charlotte the Harlot.
Okay,
That's true.
yeah, that is true.
That's about it. One out of like 4,000 songs.
One out of like 4,000 songs. You mean what we call it, Rhyme with the Ancient Mariner?
That's about a three-way.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Shoot the Thrill by AC/DC. What were you talking
was
about there?
Number 2 was You Shook Me All Night Long.
Okay.
The funny thing is that's really about a car.
Well, that's what they were debating on the thing. Is everybody was thinking, well, is it a car? Is it not? Is it this? Is
Well,
it? You know
Brian
what I mean?
Johnson's a huge auto racing.
But he liked to play. He liked that's where
aficionado.
his metaphor liked to go. He
Yeah.
liked to mix up the.
Do you remember the days where that used to be a thing? Like your girlfriend wanted to do it to a certain song?
Oh, yeah. Remember that?
I remember that being a thing.
I don't think that's a thing anymore.
I don't think it is a thing anymore. I don't hear about it if it is.
You mean you don't want to do it to Imagine Dragons?
And if somebody is asking me to, I'm afraid I might be in trouble.
Imagine
Imagine Dragons.
imagine flaccid.
Imagine Flaccid.
Well, I have to keep my eyes open for shows and things. It wasn't even a show that got me last. The one before that was a graduation, double graduation.
Well, how many
Saratoga.
thousands of AC/DC songs are sexual? Giving the dog a bone?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The Jack.
Oh, I hate that song.
That's
Girls,
That song
girls
is
got a
boring.
rhythm.
Girl
There's
likes
another
just
one I
a-
really like that you hate. That was a good one too.
The Jack. Don't. Yeah, it's the Jack. Yeah. Put a bullet in my mouth. It's like, those are so it's just such boring shit. Oh, I don't know. Dirty deeds done dirt cheap.
Oh,
No, that's not sexual.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. And I think they should have narrowed it down to rock songs about sex, which still would be difficult.
Yeah.
I think this is the first time we've had 4 people at this table.
Yeah.
It's usually you 3 or 5.
No,
Right?
when you were in Italy,
Oh, that's true.
we had 4.
Breaking the rules.
Yeah, when you were in Italy.
So we haven't. So we're gonna have to get real Greg to max it out.
Yeah,
We're not gonna fit. This is the tightest fit I've been involved.
That's
with.
going to be a difficult one.
You guys are used to the foursome, not me.
That's right. You're used to the fivesome. Band-wise.
true.
Yeah, but we have an extension when it's different.
Oh, there's an extension.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, an extension.
When there's 5 of you.
No. John's got to get to work on the new podcast desk.
See, he's already got me working.
Yep.
You bet your ass. Are you constructing something from scratch? Are you doing an add-on to this?
I'm not. We don't know.
I think
There's
we're
so
going to
many
do.
ideas.
I would like to do a.
Trapdoors, like on Austin Powers.
There you go.
Like he has a button for everybody.
I'm not quite dead yet.
I like the metal show setup where it's more couches and chairs kind of thing.
But then what do I?
I don't
Yeah.
know. You gotta-
Yeah, but
you
see,
gotta
everybody
work it out.
uses the table when we're here. So how does that work?
And the cables. There's cables.
Yeah.
Yep.
coffee tables and
Oh, that's just. Believe me, I like a comfortable chair. I'm not knocking that part of it, but
hey, I'm a stander, so it's weird for me to suggest that, but I kind of like that setup. You know what I mean? Like, I'd like
Yeah.
to find some sort of incorporation.
When
Maybe
John's
like
in,
a theater setting.
when John's in a 4-way, he likes to stand.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm the stander.
he's the stander.
I envision like a little horseshoe table for every person.
Yeah, well, that's what we were talking about.
That's what I like. I can.
That's what
I
we were
can
talking
envision.
about.
And then you got room for a lot of shit. You can put. Look.
Well,
at
yeah,
all my
we always
shit I can put
had that
around.
conversation of I always wanted to have something out here,
Yeah.
and here,
Yeah.
so I can put stuff around me to be able to get to.
We haven't had a purpose for more than 5, so we get 5 horseshoes.
Well, I think
that
we
can
need-
fit somehow into the whole. Set.
I think what we need to do is make a table that we can fit 6, because in the future, 5 plus J.
We have done that many, right?
No, Greg wasn't
was
there.
missing?
Greg was missing.
Damn
again.
it.
Flat Greg
Right.
again. Flat Greg again.
He always takes vacation when we're doing the big shows.
Yeah.
It's funny too.
It's not a tumor.
I think it pisses him off. Like there's nothing you can do about it. He's sort of like,
Every time it's Greg's not going to be here. Podcast, everybody. Son of a bitch.
we're sorry.
He looks like he told him Santa wasn't real.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're doing a podcast?
You're doing.
You're doing.
You're doing that again.
It's like, oh, you want to see other people?
Yeah.
Sounds like a job for a suck machine. How'd you know my high school nickname?
In case you hadn't noticed, I'm wearing the
Pretzel peddler hat.
pretzel peddler hat.
I have to think about every time I say that,
Well, because we haven't used it in a long time.
because it comes up Pretzel peddler.
yeah,
It's better than a pepperoni smuggler.
I bought the leader hosen and the hat.
gotta
came
do the
when
whole
it
thing.
Was like kind of cheesy, so we upgraded.
Yeah.
And when I put this on to
Hans.
take it from home, my dad was like, "Hey, where'd you get that? I like that hat." He dug it. He totally dug it.
Hans, the Pretzel peddler.
I don't know if
Pretzel peddler.
I don't know if it's already been on the show. Did you see
the Lederhosen.
No, did you see my bowler's hat yet?
No,
I don't think so. No.
I've heard about
So it must
it.
be coming up.
Yes.
No, that'll be
That
We've
may
heard
be
the urban
my-
legends of it.
That may be my new favorite.
by the
hat. I
time
really
this
like
does
that hat.
air, that episode will air. We're all out of disjointed fucking shit. With
This was the first year that we didn't get to celebrate the 4th of July special with fireworks because we have that shit on the show. That's how we burnt the fireworks.
burn the fucking set down.
Is your
got the big
homeowners
hat.
up to date, Bob?
Yeah, it is.
Got that big star-spangled hat.
Yeah.
Big glasses. We missed all that shit this year. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
That's his avatar, Black Dick. I realize that name is a rich joke area, but curb yourself, people. This isn't junior high. Although Black Dick is huge and veiny.
Huge and veiny.
I think I know what's coming up next.
What's that? Oh, I know what we have to do.
Yeah, we haven't done that at all.
Yeah.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up.
Time to make the chimmy fucking chongas.
You can find us at bobandjohnspodcast@gmail.com, on iTunes or buzzsprout.com, and
At Loose and Buttery on the Twitter and Instagram or
Facebook Live.
and on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page at Bob and John's Super Duper Variety Power Hour. And go to 151online.com for all your rock and roll needs, including our debut CD, which should be out around July 23rd.
And we also have our first music video up.
Yes, for our first single, Running Away.
Yeah.
We decided to make our first single about running away.
I heard you talking while I was gone. After that is released is when we're going to have the update.
Yeah, right around there. You know, depending on, how influx, because that all happens. Like that week of the move is just a big ass fucking shit show.
Oh, yeah.
We have a gig on the 21st. Then that week is supposed to be. That's why we're trying to do as many podcasts as possible. Put it in, get far ahead, so I
At
can
least
just
a little ahead.
throw a few up and not have to worry about it. So none of that bullshit.
This one is pretty good.
What's that?
Resin, my 6 point.
Great beer, by the way. What is it?
Yeah, this is good. I got to see where it's from. I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
Bangalore.
Oh, formulated and brewed by 6 Point Brewery in Brooklyn, New York.
Okay. Bangalore, Brooklyn. They're pretty close to each other.
Yeah.
I was going to say Canada
Canada?
because they're the first ones that I saw can like this. And
Canada?
Now, if it says resin on it, I would assume maybe it would have some sort of,
it is
cannabis product in it.
It is hoppy, and hops tend to smell and taste a little.
Hops and marijuana are the same family of plants.
Yeah, that's why it's so lovely.
Because you think the hops are the actual hops themselves are like the buds on a marijuana.
That's
plant.
what. Yeah,
Same
somebody
thing.
asked me, what do hops look like? I said, well, they look
like buds.
Look like weed.
So I've heard.
So,
Right.
yes.
It's the party family of.
I guess I'm gonna have.
Everything that guy just says is bullshit. Thank you.
Thank you. I guess I'm gonna have to try to dry it and smoke it. It's just the next logical next step.
Well,
Somebody,
not
some
illegal.
asshole out there picked the plant and said, let's smoke it. And it worked out pretty well for him.
Yeah, you never know.
I think of that sometimes.
All
Like,
the time.
who just picked this up and said, "Hey,
This looks good
Yeah, I
if
got
you
an
dry
idea.
it up and roll it and smoke it.
Exactly. Somebody got that idea somehow.
I think the aliens had something to do with it.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
Aliens.
Aliens?
I also think of
Ask
other
George
ways,
Tsoukalos.
like sort of like maybe, because it grows like weeds. Maybe they were cultivating and they were just burning their shit like crazy and like.
And they all got high.
And they all got high and they're like,
They
whatever.
said, hey,
that
we're
was
onto
last night,
something.
That was pretty good. Like, we should do that. So maybe concentrated somehow.
Me like the way feel.
Could have been the soft mattress, or it could have been the midnight rape, or the nude gay art show that took place in my room. One of those probably added to the lack of sleep.
that's good shit right there."
Oh, that was the one you didn't. Another one you
Disappointed
didn't like.
in that one. Yeah. That was-
Sierra Nevada Tropical Torpedo.
Yeah, I was really expecting.
If I'm thinking of tropical torpedoes, you know what I'm thinking of.
Exactly. Fruity. And I
where's
didn't
the
get
pool boy?
I got no fruity. Nothing fruity there.
I ordered a tropical torpedo.
I am not gay, senor. You just make me do gay things.
And there was nothing tropical or torpedo like it.
Oh my god, my pipe organ, yay!
Yeah, I expected a little fruitiness. There was none.
No fruitiness whatsoever.
The very least could have been citrus because they have hops that are very citrusy.
Especially for summer,
Yeah. Well, that's why I got it. I'm like, it's hot. I'm laying off the stouts for the summer. I'm all done for that in summer. I'm saving that for winter time.
I drank one of my Imperial Stouts this weekend, and I just about passed out. Yeah.
They're
In the
so
heat,
good, but not in the hot. It's not. It's not a hot drink.
It's not refreshing.
But I can't believe you did it! Oh, too good. Too good. Oh. Well, good night.
John wants this going off in his head every time he takes the first sip of a beer.
Oh, I wish I was Beyonce.
Yeah. Saturday night, I think I was done by. I think it's.
You said like 7:30.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
He was done here last week. I think it was that last Wednesday because we did the podcast, and he checked out at like 9:30.
I've been working on reducing my tolerance. Really, it's the best idea for me and my liver.
Yeah, it makes it more economical as well.
Yeah,
Actually got a prescription for that.
Yeah. So when it comes to the all-day partying thing, I don't do it anymore because I've lowered the tolerances. I reached the point where I want to be, and it's bedtime.
Yep.
It's bedtime.
So probably Saturday, the pitcher of margaritas on the boat might have done it.
Yeah, that might have something to do with it.
And I made it with Cabo too,
Oh,
so good
good shit.
Margaritas in the sun.
Hey, Peter, it's 7 o'clock and you've still got your pants on. What's the occasion?
And a couple of beers, and then we came back. We grilled chicken and zucchini. Had a glass of homemade wine with some peaches. That was it. I'm done.
Done.
Good night.
Thank you.
And the lights went out all over the world.
There seems to have been a misunderstanding about what kind of boat guys we're going to be.
The only sad thing is all these people that look up to me like the hero. It's like, what happened to you?
Yeah, it's when
it's tough
Jordan missed a dunk or something.
Yeah,
It's like, oh.
Throw me a frickin' bone here.
How could you do this to us?
Am I being paranoid or is he busting my balls?
That's like the one time at my golf scramble a couple of years ago, the after party at my house. By like 11 o'clock at night. I mean, we usually go at it until like 2, 3 in the morning.
so bad? Because he's thirsty, dummy.
This is the one I dropped
And we're usually like cranking it until like 2, 3 in the morning, and by 11 o'clock I was like down for the count. And then somebody woke me up and I got really pissed off.
Yeah, I would get angry.
And I threatened them with a baseball bat.
Eventually, we're going to make it to your golf scramble, but it always seems to hit it. Your golf scramble is perfectly timed when everybody's just at the height of their summer shit.
Yeah.
This year, it's the fucking the move from hell for me.
I have a bunch of graves to dig.
And this time of year, the soil's nice and dry.
It's really, it's really
a lot easier digging.
Prime time for grave digging.
A full release ensures a rejuvenative rest and promotes a winning attitude.
You gotta be sweating.
I'm sitting up there this weekend, or the last weekend, I threw my back out. And so I'm just couch bound. Not that it was a bad weekend, sweating balls. Anyway, sitting in the air conditioning. But of course, what comes on the television, and I think of Chris.
American Psycho.
Yeah.
Nice.
Watch the whole movie.
You watched
again.
the whole thing.
I watched the whole movie. You get caught up and you're just like, I've seen this a million. Okay. Start watching it. Then suddenly you realize you're 3/4 of the way through and you're like, I got to finish it.
I got to finish it at this point.
Here's an interesting scientific postulation, though. Everybody always says it's hot as balls. Your balls are actually outside of your body to keep them a couple degrees cooler.
That's a good point.
So really, hot as balls is not accurate.
Well, most the stuff and most of the English language, when you break it down, doesn't really add up.
Yep.
A lot of that shit. You know what I mean?
Do you know what a rule of thumb? You know where that came from? In England, you could beat a woman with a stick as long as it was like the same circumference as
really?
Yeah. If it was bigger than
totally
that,
acceptable.
It was against the law.
This is my boomstick.
Perfect.
Not bigger than my thumb.
Don't do that.
I feel sorry for Andre the Giant's wife.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
Right before the police came,
It's like a Louisville Slugger. Oh wait, that's a whole different thing.
I would smash my thumb with a hammer before the cops came. Be like, look at it. I mean, it's huge.
It's kind of funny because I've been jonesing for a while there. I was jonesing for. I didn't have any good audiobooks, didn't have any good podcasts to listen to or anything. And when you hit a dry streak like that, and you want to do the lawn, or you want to do some yard work or something like that, you just want something. You know what I mean? And sometimes music, you're just like, I just want to listen to something to take my mind off of the shitty
Task
thing I
at
have to
hand.
do. Yeah. So I found this podcast with this guy Bruce Pritchard, who worked for the WWE from like 87 up into like the 2000s.
Oh, nice.
And so they go through like all these different pay-per-views and all this stuff behind the scenes shit you get. So like each time they would have one like WrestleMania this or SummerSlam that or something like that, I was just like, wow, you know what? It's kind of neat listening to the behind the scenes stories, about who's a dick and who's not and everything.
It totally changes everything.
But the funny thing is that afterwards I end up going to the WWE network and watching it, skimming through what they were talking about, and you're like, oh no shit.
Now you get the whole picture,
because they're pointing out stuff and everything else.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh no fucking way. And then the other guy there, who's the dude who was the commentator for WCW there?
Bischoff?
No, the other
Tony
one.
Schiavone?
He's got the same guy who moderates the Bruce Pritchard run does that one with Schiavone, but he does all the WCW and Crockett promotion stuff.
Dude, that's funny because I don't know how I found it, but there's one that this guy does with Eric Bischoff, who ran WCW.
I think it's the same guy.
Might be the same guy.
Conrad something.
Conrad Thompson.
Yeah, he's the guy who does it with the other two.
Dude, he's awesome.
Yeah.
And he's like, he busts their balls like half the time.
Oh yeah, completely. He's like, are you just gonna give me shit? Or are you gonna give me the truth?
He's like, what I mean? Totally. Is that really your answer? Because that's bullshit.
yeah, totally. Yeah, he's just like, come on, are you sucking Triple H's balls right now? Or what?
Yeah.
He's totally busting their ass.
Is that your final answer long before that whole show, right?
Yeah, exactly.
No, they're great podcasts, though. They're like...
It is.
Yeah.
And then you remember all that shit. You're like, I remember that match.
Yeah. See, I missed a lot of the Crockett stuff, like with the Four Horsemen and stuff like that, which...
That was like before
go back and... Because you didn't have it up here. You had WWF.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So you didn't have all that stuff until after WCW took it over.
Yep.
And I guess people on cable did. I didn't have cable until 1991. So
I'm still waiting for Billy Corrigan's wrestling thing to hit really big. He keeps talking about it.
Which one does he have? I can't remember.
He has
it's like the oldest
NWA.
One. Yeah.
He's the original, and he bought the original NWA.
That's crazy.
Oh my God. Which it's going to take. You're just not going to.
You're going up against Vince McMahon.
Well,
forget it.
He was saying on Howard he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
He doesn't even want to buy. He just wants to be an alternative.
Yeah. I saw in that Access TV they have New Japan.
Actually, that's some interesting shit.
Yeah.
Because they got Jericho on there He's wrestling. He's the Intercontinental Champion right now.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He's done like 2 or 3. He's done like 2 matches, and this last one he won the Intercontinental title there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day they always talked about, like, the Ross Report would talk about New Japan. I'm like, what the fuck is New Japan?
They used to go over to there in the 70s and shit, in the 60s and everything. There was a couple of them where I don't know where I heard it on a podcast or something about Hogan going back in the day, and they were one of the things they would try to do is to they were threatened him to break his leg during the match so they could get the title off of him, because if you can get the title on TV off of him,
right?
What are you going to do? You can't back then. You can't say it's fake. Yeah, you can't say it's fake, right? So Hogan was all like really scared, because that was back then when like there was almost shoot matches where it was just almost like real back in Japan.
Yeah. So
he was really scared, so he sent Andre out with him. And Andre, don't worry, boss, I take care of you. He goes, he went through it and everything else and all of that, and fucking right at the end after they snuck in a pin on the Japan wrestler, and Andre dragged him out of the ring and said, "We go now, boss."
That's awesome.
You don't mess with Andre, that's for sure.
No, nobody would, man.
Yeah, that dude's mitts are like fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like the size of an actual baseball glove.
It
right?
really is. Yeah.
Well, they show those scenes with him, pretending to choke Hogan, but I mean, dear God, Hogan's huge, and it's like engulfing his throat.
He would put his hand around a can of beer like that, and it would look like he's holding a shot glass.
Yeah,
It's just ridiculous.
Oh yeah, even John couldn't keep up with him drinking.
No, they said in one night he could drink 120 beers.
Yeah, there's Flair saying
he goes, I saw him drink 106 beers once.
Yep.
He goes, and wine.
And
fucking whiskey.
Yeah, and that was just before the show.
Yeah.
Dude, did you see the Ric Flair 30 for 30 on ESPN?
Yeah.
When he's telling the shrink what he drinks every day.
Yeah.
He's like, every day? He's like, yeah. Every day you drink that much shit?
Yeah. There were a couple of them back then that were fucking crazy.
Those guys are hardcore back then.
And he would wrestle a 1 hour match.
Yep.
With Ricky Steamboat every night.
Yeah.
After drinking a case of beer.
Yeah, and twice on Sunday.
5 fucking drinks.
And then he'd be in the gym deadlifting 700 pounds and shit.
I'm like, that's not human, man.
Yeah.
Fuck.
The good
steroids will do that for you.
Well, because Shivani, because I was listening to he had 2 episodes for the Four Horsemen.
Okay.
And he said they'd be partying until Blanchard walk in all on the plane, and then Arn Anderson would walk in all grumpy and hungover and everything that, and Flair would be coming in snapping his fingers and getting and he'd sit there and he said he'd be just 100% Ric Flair to say everybody to tell the stewardess, Bloody Marys all around, you know what I mean? That guy's fucking.
He's an American hero.
Yeah. He's an American treasure. Yes.
Greg checked in. He had a night of rides at the Jolly Roger, the fam.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, look at that.
I am not gay, senor. You just made me do gay things.
Sorry.
You went for a cocktail at the manhole after?
A full release ensures a rejuvenative rest and promotes a winning attitude.
Gonna go down to the manhole later.
You are creepy as shit.
All right. Well, we're going to get to what we got everybody here, but we got to do a little bit.
Is there a reason we're here?
Is there a reason? I don't know.
Just here to bullshit like always.
Yeah, it's per usual, but we do have a top 5.
Yes, sir.
But we'll get to that actually right after this.
Yes.
In your face, all over the place. We're online 24/7. 24/7. You're listening to the hottest internet station.
Bob and John Super Duper Variety Power Hour.
I am not gay, senor. You just make me do gay things.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up.
Time to make the chimmy fucking chongas.
You can find us at Bob and John's Podcast at gmail.com, on Buzzsprout.com, and iTunes, or
at Loose and Buttery on the Twitter and Instagram, or
Facebook Live. I jumped in and stole it.
And on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page at Bob and John Super Duper Variety Power Hour. And go check out 151online.com for all your rock and roll and 151 needs, including our new video and single,
Running Away.
And a new album about the July 23rd, right?
I believe that is the case.
That'll be ready for purchase on there. Get it for your family, get it for your friends.
That's right.
It's the gift that keeps
rock and roll summer.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Hey, everybody, there's a shit cloud coming. Run for your lives.
Lives.
I was waiting for that one.
We'll do I don't have any. I need to make some top 5 music, but we'll just do that instead.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition. Strap in. You're about to listen to
with Bob and John
and Jay.
Where's Jay?
He's not here.
What the hell?
What the hell? I don't have any music that says and Tom and Chris. And Flat Greg.
And Flat Greg. Most importantly,
Yeah.
Flat Greg.
Maybe when we rework
Sounds like you have a kick in your mouth.
rework the formula, we'll
Looking for a little slapping pickle.
That's right.
Doesn't get any better than that.
Oh.
Here's what's going to happen, Tonto. Kemosabe's going to have some flavor. I'm going to choose not to eat with you.
We're not going to eat together?
No. I like to recharge my batteries and shut down the engines and get myself back to neutral.
That's right. I use that.
Actually, I was going to put this out as a top 5, and Tom came. Actually, I don't know if he was reading my brain or not.
Yes, I was, sir.
Oh, dear.
I'm gonna squeeze right in here if my thighs will let me.
And some of the things I was privy to scared me a little bit.
Scare me on a daily basis.
Damn, that's nasty.
So we're going to go with top 5 bass players. And since Tom's a bass player, we'll let him start.
All right.
Hey.
Oh, we got Greg somewhere, don't we?
Yeah, Greg sent him on a text message earlier.
Yeah.
And because the band texts so much, good luck rolling through that.
Yeah, you'll have to dig back deep.
Greg actually picked Francis Buchholz 5 times.
What's that?
From the Scorpions.
Francis Buckle.
He runs a transmission repair shop now, doesn't he? Or something? Out in Buffalo.
Paranoid, or is he busting my
He
balls?
works on Volkswagens mostly.
Just strictly German cars.
Clown, I amuse you. I make you laugh. I'm here to fucking amuse you. What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
The Porsche will cost you extra.
You know
We
how
are the
long it takes me-
Scorpions. We are Scorpions and Klaus Meiner.
You know how long it takes me to find his 2 songs? When I need to know, I got to listen to those songs for next week.
You mean
There's a lot of scrolling to get
Oh,
back
yeah,
to.
I had to try. I
I know one of them. I can't remember the other.
Other one.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I forgot.
It was,
I forgot
what?
also.
Hush.
Yeah, and Mary Jane.
Last Dance with Mary Jane.
Yep.
Which I wonder if it's about sex or marijuana. I can't tell.
I don't know. The video's a little messed up though.
Oh yeah, the
Dancing
morgue.
with the Corpse.
Yeah.
Although Kim
Looks like Kim
Basinger is one
Basinger,
nice
right?
corpse.
What's
Yeah.
weird about that?
Absolutely nothing, Chris.
Nothing.
She signed a consent form before she died.
Yeah.
Sounds like a job for Suck Machine. How'd you know my high school nickname?
Tom.
All right. These aren't necessarily put in chronological order on purpose, but anyway, I mean, you can't have a top 5 list without the one and only John Paul Jones.
Oh, I love that guy.
That's right. We don't want to play any Zeppelin because we know we'll get.
Yeah, exactly. SME will be all over us.
Jimmy
or
will be all. Jimmy will be all over
Yeah.
us.
We be gone.
But I mean, that guy, he's like all over the fretboard, and he's a multi-instrumentalist too. It's just like
Composer. Classical composer too.
He does
Yeah,
a lot of,
I mean, just
a lot
crazy.
of shit now. Like, right?
Yeah, producer. I mean, he's
Didn't they say that? Which album was it? Coda, or one of them was
almost all him. In Through the Outdoor.
Through the Outdoor, yeah.
It was a lot of him and Plant were the two because Jimmy and John Bonham were a little bit checked out for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when the drugs started having the negative effect on them.
Yeah, they kind of reached that pinnacle, and then
Yeah, and you can tell that it's heavily, it's
different.
Yeah, very. It's a great album, though.
Yeah,
if you dig into it, really good album.
I dig it.
I got them all. So who next, Chris?
Sure, we're headed that way.
Who next?
Who next?
I went with Steve Harris.
Hey, number 5, Steve
number
Harris.
1.
Yeah.
I never saw that coming.
Yeah.
I mean, he's obviously awesome, but I don't think he'd really work in too many other bands, though.
No.
He's kind of busy.
Yeah.
It's his Maiden is
But
his band.
Then again, he writes 98% of the songs.
Yeah, he is Maiden.
Yeah.
He's writing orchestral.
He really is. He's crazy.
Oh yeah, you go back and listen to some Maiden songs, and you think of the musical passages and stuff, and so many Maiden songs. You're like, the crazy shit.
So much shit going on.
Yeah.
That's what if you ever see footage of them from South America, they sing along to the guitar melodies and shit.
Oh yeah,
They don't just sing the words. I'm like, that's
they have they start with a whole different. Oh, what is it? The one I love is off of 666.
Fear of the Dark, probably.
Fear of the Dark, yeah.
Like-
Fear of the Dark.
He's like playing with them with marionettes.
Yeah.
And then they're like, they're doing whole bits that aren't even part of the melody of the song. They're making yeah.
It's so great.
Oh yeah,
it's great.
Maiden's one of those bands.
Hello, Argentina!
Maiden is one of those very few bands. I'll put Zeppelin up there. That their studio stuff is just as good as them live, and vice versa. You know, like later on, I put Kiss more in that category, but their first 3 albums, studio-wise, were not done very well.
No,
production was not done very well.
Exactly.
Not the songs. I'm not talking about the songs. I'm talking about the production more than that. And same with Aerosmith has a few in there and everything that aren't great production ones and everything. But man, you go with I. Sometimes it's like if I want to listen to Maiden or Zeppelin, I have to make that choice: live or studio. You know what I mean? It's how I feel about Springsteen. I can't listen to Springsteen studio. Oh, just to me, it's miserable.
But live, forget it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, live he just tears shit down. It's
way
ridiculous.
different energy when he plays live.
Yeah, you almost feel like it's a complete different complete different entity.
Yeah,
the way they do it live, it's amazing.
That's kind of like if you go back and listen to the first couple of Judas Priest albums, and then you listen to Unleashed in the East. It's like, are these the same songs?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. And from what I've heard, Deep Purple is kind of
similar.
Yeah, it is kind of similar. That their live is so much more crazier and better than
just like Cheap Trick live at Budokan. You listen to some of those songs on the studio albums, and you're like, this sucks.
They're kind of lame.
Yeah. I want you to want me. It's like really cheesy, and then they just totally jacked it up for the Budokan album.
Yeah, exactly. Well, look at Kiss's first big album was a live.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was a fucking live album.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Helmut?
Steve Harris, number 5.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
Enough said there.
See, I didn't put Steve Harris on my list just because I knew other people would.
Yeah. Bruce Dickinson said in his book, basically, we can write all the songs we want, but if they don't get by Steve,
he's the final say.
Yeah, he's like judge, jury, and executioner. He's it. Boom, done.
Yep.
My number 5, I'm going with Giza Butler.
Oh, that's a good call.
He was on my big list.
A matter of fact, every time I want to bring a Sabbath song to the band, we get to the lead part, the guitar lead part, and it's like, well, where the fuck do I fit in? Because Chris is going to be doing the lead, and Geezer just went fucking off 5 ways. I mean, he's playing a lead on his own.
Yeah, and they're kind of weaving into each other and stuff.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Yeah, some of this, I'm just like, I've looked at the tab, and I'm like, I can't, because usually when we run into this problem on a lot of bands, I can just go, well, I'll just play what Tom plays. You know what I mean? I'll just thicken it up, or else the band, even though it has one guitar, they have they have 2 track. They're playing a rhythm with a rhythm track. Yeah. But fucking forget it with Sabbath. It's ridiculous. Yeah. You get to that lead part, and everybody's doing their own shit.
Yeah.
And the best part too is that sometimes you can just fuck around and do whatever you want in those, because that's all it is. Like if you play War Pigs, I got up on an open mic one night and did that, and I was just noodling all over the place. And it's like, oh, that sounds all right, yeah. While the guitar player was playing the lead and everything, and it's like, oh, that seems to fit.
Yeah, but and again, perfect rhythm section between him and Bill Ward too.
Yeah, because they're both very heavily jazz influenced as well.
They're both real loose.
Yeah, I mean, you got to, in my mind, 3 of the top rhythm sections has got to be Sabbath. Sabbath, The Who, and Zeppelin.
Yeah.
I mean, bass and drums on all of them are insane.
Yeah.
Totally nuts.
We got Flat Greg, right?
Oh yeah,
Flat Greg was Flat Greg.
I just had it. Victor Wooten, and I said, "Who's Wooten? Who's?"
And everybody said, "Bob."
Bob. Oh my God! Jeez. I can't believe it, Bob.
And what you just said there, you crossed the line, buddy.
I never heard of them. There's, as I was telling these guys before we went on, I'm like, my list only extends to who I know. Otherwise, you get into funk and jazz and soul and all those different categories where bass is 90% of the song. or the roots of the song. It's crazy.
I think he played
such good players.
for quite a bit with Chick Corea too, if I remember correctly.
Chick Corea and who's the banjo? Bela Fleck.
Bela Fleck, yeah, the Flecktones. Yep.
I've heard of Bela Fleck.
Yeah, I mean it's cool stuff, but I don't think I could go to a whole concert. Of that.
Bela Fleck, didn't he play Batman?
Yeah. I think the hat's doing something for John tonight.
He was the dick from Fashionable Mallrats.
You bet your ass!
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes. First, take a big step back and literally fuck your own face.
I love that's my favorite.
That's a great one. That shit cloud.
So Flat Greg, or no, is that 3D Greg?
Flat Greg.
Flat Greg?
He's
Are they one and the
subbing.
same?
Yeah, he's subbing.
Okay. So yes, Wooten there. What's his name? Victor Wooten.
All right.
Tom, your number 5?
What was your
What?
number 5?
Geezer Butler.
Geezer Butler.
Okay.
Where were you, John?
Laughing.
All right.
Get the fuck out of here! No, I cannot.
2 of my basses do have. Actually, 3 of my basses have Geezer Butler pickups in them.
Yeah,
they're so good.
The only way I can say his name now is the way I heard Joe Elliott say it. And I was on this elevator with Geezer Butler. Geezer Butler. Geezer Butler.
Number 4 for me is none other than the Ox, John Entwistle.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the things that guy did. He another one. He's playing leads on the bass, and his tone circuit was almost like more like overdriven, almost like a crunchy guitar.
It
in
filled
a lot of
both
songs.
spaces.
Yeah.
It filled like a rhythm guitar and bass.
And I mean perfect because I mean Pete Townsend never had a really saturated overdriven guitar sound, so it kind of filled it all in the background.
Pete Townsend's not the greatest guitar player in the world. Matter of fact, as I've always said, try to get a band that's pound for pound with Led Zeppelin. The Who, I think, is one of the only ones that I can get that close, but Townsend falls short in the guitar department.
He's the weak link. Yeah.
He's in the guitar department.
He's a
not
great
the songwriting
composer,
department.
great compositions and things like that.
And he knows how to use guitar, but as a guitar hero or a guitar, a rock guitar player, he's not the.
Yeah, he's not.
And he was a minimalist with gear too. I mean, it was just straight into the cab and crank it and that's it. I mean, he never really went for any other effects or any sounds on his guitar. It was all just whatever he could get out of the guitar. And
I think he changed when he went into the 80s, though. When they were trying to get more close to album. When they got the backup singers and they got the, you know what I mean?
When Kenny came in on the drums and they did the It's Hard album, the tone definitely changed dramatically.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, he was pretty much just straight in. I mean, he's the reason why we have Marshall, really.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
They made it for Pete. Yeah.
If he didn't ask, Jim Marshall, who was a drummer, to create the amp for him.
Yeah.
The first Marshall cab, he made 8 12-inch speakers in one box.
Yeah. That's got to weigh 400 pounds or
he's
something.
like, we couldn't get it through the fucking door. He's like, can you cut this in half? He's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
That's
2
all
floors
right.
right
there. Now you got 2 412.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's crazy.
Yeah. So there's that stuff from the Shepherd's Bush concert where they're doing Babbo O'Reilly and Won't Get Fooled Again. The famous videos that they got. And it kills me at the end of, I don't remember, I think it Won't Get Fooled Again, when he's just chucking that Les Paul and pounding it. And I'm just like,
He did that with so many Les Pauls and Strats.
That's why he had them numbered.
Yeah.
The Les Pauls he had numbered. He had big 5 and a 3 or a 2 on them. And he had a whole bunch of different knobs on it too. Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least if the Strats broke, you could just replace a neck or whatever. I mean, Les Paul, forget it. Once you crack the set neck on that, forget it.
Yeah.
Or the headstock or whatever. It's never going to be the same.
No, never. I mean, he beat the shit out of them. Unbelievably. Yeah. And Twistle's incredible. I mean, watching him play, it's like he's bending.
Oh, yeah.
It's like us trying to bend a high E string. He's like,
and the son of a bitch never moved either.
He doesn't.
He just sat there
He had a 8 trillion gigawatt fucking amp right
Yeah.
It was the loudest thing on earth.
Yeah,
It's fucking great.
It could power like the Back to the Future DeLorean.
And also talk about a guy who plays different instruments too.
Yeah.
And backing vocals, and I mean, you don't know how until you really dig in. You don't know how integral he was to,
Yeah.
filling in a lot.
Yep.
In that band,
unsung hero.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's a good pick. Yeah.
Chris, your number? Where are we at?
4.
4.
I went with Flea.
Flea.
Excellent choice. Excellent choice.
He's awesome. I was a big
Number
fan
4, Flea.
Really?
Yeah.
Fucking
Well, that makes it
he's
easy.
copying from me.
He was looking over. I saw him.
It's all written down ahead of time. You can look at my shit right here.
I don't want to look at your shit.
Your shit, your junk. We don't want to look at any of it.
But when I was in high school, the Blood Sugar Sex Magic was one of the staples.
Oh,
of
yeah.
my-
Yep. Epic.
And that, I mean, both of him and Frusciante. Frusciante was like 19 or 20 when he did that.
Yeah, I mean, he was
Fucking
just
mind-blowing.
Yeah, he's just like, I mean, he's a prodigy. Flea's a prodigy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it just, and they,
Chad Smith
totally
is insane.
worked. Exactly. That
Yeah.
shit was amazing. And, he had crazy chops, but he could obviously groove really well.
Do you
He
need
had
that to
huge
pick out
fucking
your
tone.
peaches?
Not yet, thanks.
So
Yeah, Flea's.
You need a little more on that? Is that what?
Flea's awesome.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Flea's probably would have definitely made my top 10 if I had a top 10.
yeah,
He would have been in there.
I keep thinking of more people too. Now that you got
What kills me too is like people. I remember I've seen other like drummers in the area and stuff. Like we'll pick on Chad Smith. It's like if you can keep up with Flea as a drummer,
Yeah.
you can't be too bad.
Well, he's like one of those guys. I put him in the Keith Moon category.
Yeah.
Where like you watch Moon play and you're like, number one, how does he stay on fucking time?
Yeah.
And he's just the way he plays. Well, as Roger Daltrey always used to say, it was always like we would play our part, and then it was like the drums were answering us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
there's like
staying in rhythm.
He was either behind or ahead, but somehow he always stayed in rhythm.
Yeah,
There's like
and
a
Chad
push and a
Smith's like
pull.
that too. You
Yeah.
see, and I'm talking about what I've seen. I'm not a huge Chili Peppers fan. That doesn't mean I dislike them. I'm just not a huge one. I have a few of their albums, but seeing him in Chickenfoot and a couple of other things I've seen on the internet with him
Yep.
playing with other people, he's so on the verge of out of control,
Yeah.
but everything is so tight.
Dangling on the cliff, like
Yeah.
right at the edge.
Yeah, but always just pulls it right back in.
Yep.
No problem. You know what I mean?
And him and Flea just, considering like Jack Irons was the original drummer, and Jack's an accomplished drummer, but Chad's a different style of drummer.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
Yeah, and he took it to a whole different level when he came in. I mean, that, Blood Sugar Sex Magic album, of course, with Rick Rubin producing it too. How can you go wrong?
Well, see, you know what really makes Chad Smith with the Chili Peppers work is the Chili Peppers. They were a lot more aggressive in the beginning, and now it seems like that's probably where I don't care for them as much. It seems like every song kind of sounds the same.
They kind of laid
has a
back a
tone
little
to
bit.
it. Yeah,
after
has a
that,
certain
is it-
tone to it that I'm like, okay, I'm a little tone deaf to that now.
Yeah.
But like before, the aggressiveness seemed like it came from Chad Smith. It was like that. He was just like full, bore in on those songs.
Yeah.
Full tilt.
Yeah, there's a huge like pot, like he's like pushing and pulling. That shit I never heard when I was a kid either. It's like when you actually
Yeah.
try to play with it, you're like, whoa,
Yeah,
what is he
but
fucking? He's all over the place, but it's so.
But it's
dead
so
on
right there.
So,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah, he almost played it like a solo instrument.
Yeah.
On some songs.
Yeah.
One of the craziest things I saw when I saw the Chili Peppers 2 years ago down in South Carolina, they when they came out for the encore, Flea did a walking handstand all the way across the stage back over to his rig and picked his face up.
Christ.
I mean, the guy is like in phenomenal shape. He just walks all the way over on his hands, does a backflip, picks up his bass, and they start playing again.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't pick Flea again, did you?
Yes, I
No, you didn't. Huh?
Yeah, so
Look at we're getting two with the price of one there. Anything you want to add?
he's good.
I like when he plays.
He plays really good.
He's all over the place. He's not playing just single notes.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
fucking all over the place.
You motorboating son of a bitch, you old sailor, you.
And harmonics and chords and stuff that a lot of bass
Again,
players
filling
don't
in
do.
a lot of space.
Yeah.
I guess that's me then. Right?
Yeah, Bob.
What are we on? 4?
Yep.
My number 4 is Steve Harris.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, hold it. I know that's Greg's number 4. Yay.
See? You got to tap the flat, Greg. Tap the flat.
I got it.
He's over on that side.
High five, Greg.
Yeah, I think we went over Steve Harris. I mean, just amazing.
What more can we say, right?
Yeah. He's like a lead bass player. It's crazy.
Well, then if we're going to go to number 3, then
Sure.
we don't have to say anymore because number 3 for me was Flea.
All
There you go.
right. All right.
I think we'll be zoning in on a bunch of ones we already know.
we'll be in
there.
the wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Then we'll go to 3 to Greg. Chris.
Sounds like you have a dick in your mouth.
There it is.
That's right.
Wait for that one. I went Geddy Lee with this one.
Shut the front door.
I could have.
Yeah.
Right there. Number 3.
You motorboating son of a bitch,
We
you.
are on.
You motorboating son of a bitch, you old sailor, you.
That's right.
Oh, my muffins are ready.
That's right.
Yeah, he's just an interesting. Like, he could just lay it down and play nice behind Alex Lifeson, or he could go completely bananas.
Yep.
And yeah, he could just so versatile.
And let's
he's
not
doing so
forget
much.
he's playing keys and singing at the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah,
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, keys with his feet, bass, and singing.
He's doing everything but playing a wind instrument out of his asshole.
Yeah, that's it.
Give him time. Give him time.
He's the only guy I heard Sammy Hagar say, "I'm jealous of that."
Oh, that he can play all the
That he plays 3 instruments.
the 3 instruments at once?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
I wonder if he's any good of a drummer, although you've got Neil Peart.
It's hard to even bother trying.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, why
Yeah.
bother?
I just
You
like
do that, whatever you're doing there. I got these other 3 instruments going.
Neil's here? Okay. Throw the drumsticks down.
I bet you he does play decent drums, probably.
Probably.
Who knows? You
never know.
Yeah. Weird people.
The only way Richie plays shows that he plays everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Him and Lenny Kravitz play
Right.
everything.
Yeah.
Ridiculous talent.
Kid Rock actually plays everything too. Pretty decently.
This is true as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I got.
Oh,
Geddy
that's
Lee's,
right.
Yeah. So
Both the Geddy Lee.
Number 3.
I'm unprepared here. My number 3 is John Entwistle.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
I love me some John Entwistle.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to. And
Yeah,
I know
we're-
Greg's is John Entwistle.
See? It's amazing how this is happening.
Yeah, exactly. So it's number 2 to you.
Number 2 to me. Of course, now I'm going to go a little more modern here. And this is really a toss-up, but, I mean, you guys all know my favorite band. Yeah, the Cranberries, of course.
The Cranberries.
Yeah.
I was. What's the band that does Afternoon Delight?
Starlight Vocal Band.
Starlight Vocal Band.
No, but Jeff Ament from Pearl Jam.
Shocking.
I mean, the problem is that because you have 2 guitars playing at the same time, sometimes his bass gets lost a little bit. But if you listen, in headphones and things like that, I mean, this guy is all over the place, and a lot of his stuff is not just in the pocket or normal root note kind of stuff. He's doing some other things in there that's like you sit there and you go, I want to try to play this song, but I'm not sure what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just one of those things, and the guy can play a 12-string bass, upright, fretless. I mean, the guy does everything.
Yeah.
He's a good songwriter as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've definitely left some out because, I shouldn't do that on the fly.
We'll do that afterwards.
Okay.
Chris, you're number 2.
Dos.
Oh, Les Claypool.
Oh, how can you not? Right?
That's another guy. He wouldn't work with any.
No, he's got to be in Primus or forget it.
He's so obscure that he's so great but bizarrely wrapped.
Yes.
It's like
exactly. And a lot of the shit he does, he somehow managed to make like songs out of it.
Yeah.
It'd be like catchy somehow. And you're like, I don't even understand if that's a bass, but
if you listen to like Jerry was a race car driver, it's like he's just like all over the place, but everybody else just kind of fits in behind him.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like
and
ass
he's
backwards.
driving it.
Yeah. Yeah, the guitar's just backing him up, and drums are back. The drummer was awesome too.
Yeah.
Man, but,
Watching live footage of those guys, it's like
Yeah.
And he sings too.
I know. And he's just like this, and you're like, what?
And all the shit's coming out.
Yeah, all this
and all the shit's
coming out. What is
It's a shit cloud.
Hey, everybody, there's a shit cloud coming. Run for your lives.
John, your number 2?
John Paul Jones.
Nice.
That's my number 2.
John Paul Jones.
Boom.
Actually, we can do it with Greg because Greg's was John Paul Jones.
Nice.
Boom.
Yeah, I mean, what
The
can
stars
you say
are
about
aligning.
John Paul Jones? I mean,
he was the original bass prodigy as far as I'm concerned.
I loved his.
You know?
I loved his.
yeah, he's great.
Maybe not so much like more modern soloing as much as just that groove. The
groove that him and Bonham would just.
That's it.
It's like it's
to
like
have a
those
rhythm
two
section with those two off the wall motherfuckers.
Yeah.
it was awesome.
Well, it's almost like it's like okay, it's time for Page to go this way, so those two are just going to just kind of go over this way together.
They're in the
and then
pocket,
come
but it's
back.
a side pocket.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then come
it's
back
not
together.
straightforward.
No, not at all.
in any means.
It could be in a completely different time signature from what Page is doing, but it all somehow fits.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was listening to In My Time of Dying at work a few months ago.
great.
And, a lot of it's just Page with like Sly by himself. I mean, then I didn't ever notice, but with headphones, you hear John Paul Jones come in. It's like, how is he perfectly in time with him? Like he's just out floating.
He used to play a lot of the mandolin too and stuff.
Yeah,
like on Zeppelin 3.
Yeah.
A lot of that mandolin and shit was him.
And
I'm
keys
guessing-
too. All the
I'm
key stuff
guessing
is
those
John Paul
guys
Jones.
Did not fuck around with a click track.
No way.
There's no way you could do that with a
They
click
were
track.
just
No.
fucking hanging it out there.
Yeah, but then that was back in the time where it wasn't like, oh, we're going to go back and redo something. It was
Right,
like
no,
they
no,
just
you
did it till they
recorded
got
it.
it.
They played it live and fuck it, we'll do it live.
Yeah. They did it, recorded it, got it done, and that was it.
I know for a fact because I brought Click and Fucker with me to get some of the timings on them, and
Forget it.
it's like
Yeah.
in and out, and
Starts
it's all,
here, goes here.
It's all over the place.
Well, you don't notice it when
112 beats per minute up
everybody's
to 117 and back down to 93.
when the whole band is doing it, you don't
It's
notice
fine.
it.
Yeah, there's
'cause it's
nothing
just
wrong with it.
meandering
No,
along the way.
I'm
Yeah.
not- yeah, no, that's fine with me.
Yeah, watching Zeppelin's one of those bands where I like when I watch or listen to live. It's like I'm always picking something different to focus on.
Yeah.
It's like some songs it's you're more focused on Bonham or the bass and John Paul Jones and him, or just Jimmy Page guitar or something. There's always something that I'm always finding different to focus on. That
Yep. You can go back and watch it several times and see different things. And,
Oh my God! How many times did we watch The Song Remains the Same in high school when we were learning how to play?
Forever.
Yeah, I mean it was like ridiculous. You wanted to learn every little lick and note that you could find off of that videotape.
When we were doing our picks, I've watched so many times the version of Dazed and Confused, not only by Zeppelin, but then again by Portnoy.
Yep.
Covering it.
Yeah.
And I guess that's just on my big list. You know what
Dazed
I mean?
and Confused?
The live version,
Oh,
not
dear
the studio.
Lord.
Not just
Chris,
the
you
studio
got we got a couple bows. We're gonna
Give
get
one of those e-bows.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, then we're doing the live. Then we're doing the live version. A Whole Lot of Love, and I gotta get what were they called? Those
Theremin.
Theremin, yeah, the Theremins.
Like set 2 will be Dazed and Confused. Set 3 will be a whole lot of love.
I had a friend that had one of those Theremins.
Yeah.
That was fun to play with when you're drunk. It really was.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh.
I was like, what's his name? Had the Leslie.
No, the rotating speaker, yeah.
Yeah.
Who did?
Tony? Did
Tony.
do that?
Yeah.
That's
He
like a
knows
piece of
what I'm
fucking
talking about
furniture.
now.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he had it because he played with the
With the
B3,
organ.
the Hammond
Yeah, he's
organ
an
through
organ.
the
Yeah, it sounds great
Leslie.
through it.
Yeah.
We put on Yesterday's Gone, which opens up this podcast. The final lead in that, Mike is playing through the Leslie speaker.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's kind of what I
It
figured.
wasn't limited
listening
to
it,
organ.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Stevie Ray Vaughan played through the Leslie a lot of times, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, they have. I think
got
they have a
that-
pedal now. I think Leslie has some pedals out or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they can simulate it and shit.
Yeah.
I saw Jimmy Herring last year, and his keyboard player was playing like an organ through a fucking Leslie, and he had a pedal that would control the speed of it.
Yeah.
So you could
crazy.
see, like from where I was sitting too, you could see the speed. Yeah, it's like
That's crazy.
I'm like, fuck, his poor roadie, man. It's not fucking,
I know.
Tony used to bring. I believe Tony used to bring his out when he used to play out
That's
all the time.
fucking nuts. That's got to weigh like 400 pounds.
Exactly.
I don't know. He used to have the Leslie. He used to have, because he had his real, not the one he played out with, his real good Hammond B3 upstairs in the living room. So when he used to do tracks for us and stuff, he had it recorded all the way up. He had it all wired.
Oh,
up
so you could
there,
go up there.
so you could just go up there and start and play it and everything. And I used to have to run the controls. So every time he was ready, I used to be, because he could hear me, but I couldn't
Push the
hear
button,
him.
Bob.
No, I couldn't hear.
And one,
he only
two,
had it one
three.
way, so I'd log in the microphone and go, "Okay, you ready?" And he just used to give me a bump, bump. Like, yeah, ready. We think we did three of us were John Paul Jones at number 2. Tom, you're number 1.
Number 1, again, modern, but this guy took the band to the level that they ended up at after the first 2 albums, is Ben Shepherd from Soundgarden. That guy, number 1, I mean, he's the one that came up with all sorts of crazy alternate tunings. Some of the more
Fucking
popular
bastard.
songs that that those guys, got on the radio with, and got a lot of airplay, like "Burden in My Hand." He actually figured out that like open C tuning on the guitar before and brought it to the band.
Okay.
And things like that. But the guy's just a fucking monster bass player, and he's also a knuckle dragger. If you ever watch those guys playing live,
It's like on the ground.
I mean, Ben Shepherd's got to be like 6'5" or something like that, and his strap has got to be like an extra length strap because he's like down
the
on
dude
the
from
ground
Nirvana
playing.
there.
It's like
Novoselic.
Even taller, I think, than Novoselic. Yeah.
He plays it like that.
Yeah,
really all the time.
both of those
Pretty
guys.
low.
And he's like,
that's
he's
kinda normal,
he's got to
sitting
have
in the
like
pocket.
drag marks on the bottom of his bass from like hitting the floor and stuff like that. The way this guy's playing, and he's, I mean, it's just
like Duff,
sick.
Like Duff and Nikki.
Seems like he
Duff and
plays
Nikki
it
Six
low.
play it.
Yeah, Nikki.
They played a little bit below the waist.
Yep.
No, he's talking about like Novoselic and like
Novoselic and Shepherd are down by their knees and down to their shins the way they're playing. Yeah,
I don't get that.
No,
no,
it's not ergonomic.
No,
not at all. But yet, I mean, the guy's like, keeping in time with Matt fucking Cameron, who's a great fucking drummer too. And he's down here and he's doing all this noodling and shit. And you listen to the bass lines in those songs. And when he came into that band, it's like they went in a whole different direction. And he actually added a lot to their songwriting. And a lot of the stuff is all his influence. And that's what took him to that level. So hats off to him.
That's right. By the time we're done with this band, we're going to get Tom on this list.
That's right.
Yep, that's right.
That's our goal.
Fretless and
Tom's going to be playing fretless and
the fucking
upright.
Yeah.
You're number 1, Chris?
I went with I knew who this dude was, but I didn't know like any of his shit until there was a documentary about him. Jocko.
I knew it.
Pastorius.
Yep, we knew
I knew
Jocko
somebody was going to get Jocko in there, and I don't know a lot about him, and I got to see. I really do want to see that.
I think it's on Netflix, or it was for a while.
It was for a while, but I don't know if it is anymore.
Yeah. But
the guy from
Trujillo
Metallica did it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because he said when he was a kid, he saw him like 5 or 6 times, and he said it just fucking like blew up his whole world. But that's another dude who played. He just had unconventional thinking. He's like, why can't I play leads? Like,
Yeah.
He's like, everyone else plays leads in jazz. Like, the fucking drummer does shit. Why can't I do that?
His main bass was a Fender Jazz fretless too.
Yeah, they said he just took a screwdriver and
Pounded
the
all the frets. Yeah.
Jesus.
I'm like, he's out of his fucking mind.
And then just took some wood putty and filled it in or something. And that was it. Yeah.
Because they said he was from Florida and he played an upright, and they said it just exploded one day from the humidity. So he's like, oh, so he fucking chiseled out the fucking on his Fender, and that was that. Yeah.
I don't need no fucking frets.
The person, actually one of the people probably never going to get his due unless he does something outside of the band he's in is Trujillo.
Yeah.
Oh, he's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But Metallica will never let that happen.
No.
They'll never let him expand.
Well, if you think about the bands he was in before Metallica. He was in Suicidal Tendencies and
Infectious Grooves.
And Infectious Grooves, and he actually did a stint with Ozzy as well.
Yeah, he did. That's right.
Isn't the original bass player for Metallica
Cliff Burton
pretty legendary?
Yeah, Cliff was a phenom as well.
I guess I just don't. Number one is I'm not a big Metallica fan, but to me, every Metallica song I've listened to, bass has been fairly useless.
On the early stuff, it
current
wasn't
guy,
the case.
I watched an interview with the current guy, and he was it was really hard to go in and fill in those shoes.
That's the thing. Like now, they can actually play a lot of those songs because Jason Newsted couldn't play any of his shit at all.
No,
it was. He's just a shitty guitar player, basically. He's like, I could downpick fast, but I can only do one note at a time. So he was like a frustrated guitar player.
No Newsted love.
I'm not a fan of him. No, but like Trio, like they play Orion, and he's fucking killing it. Like
if you watch the what is it, Some Kind of Monster documentary. And they show his audition and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, that was great. And then did you see the scene where
he's playing that little ukulele thing and he's like, or Spanish guitar, and he's fucking playing. Yeah. Even Hetfield's looking at it. I'm like, holy fuck, there's the talent in the band.
The best scene,
Jesus
though,
Christ.
and I think I sent out a text about this.
I just saw
to the
that
group,
scene the other day.
Is they bring him into the room. It's like, well, we want you, so do you want to be in? And then blah, blah, blah. I'm paraphrasing at best. And they're like, okay, well, we're going to put $1 million in your bank.
Yeah.
He's like, what? That's like probably more than the guy's made in like the last 15 years.
Yeah.
And he's going to have it all. And then like, a couple weeks later, they're getting like some sort of award. And he's part of Metallica, and he's standing up there with them as an equal in the band and everything.
Well, I think they learned from Newsted.
Yeah.
I mean, they tortured the. I feel sorry for that guy
so bad.
I kind of feel sorry for about it because they really dicked him hard.
Yeah.
You
Yep,
know what
and
I mean?
then they totally like dropped him out of the one album there. Which album was it?
Justice.
Justice, yeah.
It's not it.
Yeah, it's like you can't even hear the bass in that goddamn album.
They gave. I think it looks like they learned after really fucking him hard that it was not going to be a good idea.
You got to name this episode like something like Bass Player's Delight or something.
Bass Player's Delight.
Something.
There you go, right there. Ready?
The low end.
But when I heard him do Orion with Trujillo,
Big
like
bottoms.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
As long as the bass players know that we're talking about basses. Bass
If they
players.
listen to the end.
We're hitting all the bases.
Yeah, we're hitting all the bases.
But there was a solo, and I always thought it was a guitar solo, but it's fucking bass.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I'm like, that's a fucking bass.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
Yeah, the beginning of what song was it? The beginning, I always thought it was guitar too, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Who was it?
That's
That was Cliff.
Oh,
yeah, it was Cliff.
But what's his name plays it perfectly too.
Yeah.
The new guy, but
Yeah, Trujillo's a beast.
he really.
Oh,
is.
he'll never get the recognition unless
No.
he
And
does
he's a
something on
super
his
nice
own.
guy.
Yeah,
too.
he's like so chill.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like,
You're number one, John?
Billy Sheen.
Billy Sheen.
I think he's fucking.
Flat Greg, Billy Sheen, too.
I think he's amazing with. He really stands out. As
He's on another stratosphere
a
right
whole
now.
nother thing going on.
And who does he have to thank for that but David Lee Roth?
Oh yeah, no,
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about it the other day. Is like David Lee Roth may not have been super successful after Van Halen, but he definitely
Launched
brought out
Steve Vai and
launched
him.
a lot
But you know
good
what? He
talent.
had 2 huge albums. I mean, Skyscraper, for
Yeah,
whatever
no,
it's
they were
worth,
good.
it was a big album at the time.
Yeah, Eat 'em and Smile was epic.
Eat 'em and Smile. Yeah, actually, right out of the gate, he's the one that everybody thought, oh, Van Halen's done. They thought because Eat 'em and Smile hit, and it's
But
like
he really did bring.
And then you look at
Vai and Billy.
well, you look at and he's also great at pissing away fucking stellar bands too.
Yeah.
Going from Van Halen to Steve Vai, Billy Sheehan, and Greg Bissonette on drums.
Yeah.
But Billy Sheen, I mean, with the Winery Dogs, I mean,
ridiculous.
I mean, got me back into playing.
Yeah.
Again, because that band I thought was the best thing going currently.
The stuff he matches Richie Kotzen on some of their songs.
Yeah.
It's like
they're like
they're playing the same notes, the same speed.
Well,
I mean,
Billy
just
Sheehan
everything.
was a
It's like,
lead guitar player before he became a bass player.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
His bass playing ability is just ridiculous, off the charts, ridiculous.
I feel that way about him. That's amazing shit that he's playing.
And talk about versatility of what he plays too. Right now he's playing with Sons of Apollo, which is
outrageous,
Portnoy and
technical shit.
Yeah,
Bumblefoot. Yeah, it's what do you call it? Massively progressive shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah, he's right now. I feel he's untouched. He's up there, untouchable by himself.
And his bass that he plays is Yamaha Attitude bass. It's kind of like they took a Rickenbacker, made it a whole lot less ugly, and he drops the P pickup down lower on the towards the bridge.
He's got two inputs.
Same, yeah, just like a Rickenbacker, like 4001 or 4003. It's got the two outputs, and so the top pickup is going to one amp, and the bottom pickup is going to another amp.
Yeah,
crazy.
Same deal.
He's just, the guy is like so super beyond fucking talented. It's ridiculous.
Portnoy and him it's almost a call and response for a lot of those rhythms. Just another amazing.
That's one of the things I love about the Winery Dogs is you've got three virtuosos, but usually when you get bands that have three virtuosos, the songs end up being turds.
Yeah.
But because Kotzen is such a great fucking songwriter,
right? Yeah, he is.
They can weave in and out of, like, suddenly they're going through a passage of such a progressive tone, but they keep it in that 3-piece rock band thing that's like great.
The part that really saddens me about the Winery Dogs is you need to be a musician to
really appreciate it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Yep. We went to see him at Upstate Concert Hall. And
they should be playing a lot bigger places than that. Yeah.
That was early on.
There was a lot of room. There's a lot of space. And here we have a power trio of super magnet beasts. But they're not selling out because, like,
it was early on, too.
We were in line. Everybody in line was a musician. Talking about, the bass. They were all
to defend him a little bit, I noticed that, because I follow Billy Sheena on Twitter, he would basically give props to every show, and we were the only show I think on that whole tour he didn't say anything afterwards. Because I think they were an add-on, to be honest with you. I think it was from going from wherever they were going to Buffalo or something, that way.
Yeah.
And so I think we were just a last minute stop in the.
At least we got to see him.
And I follow him on Facebook, and the Buffalo show, of course, was like epic.
Well, that's
because, it's his hometown. Yeah,
that's his hometown, exactly.
He's like he has like no ego either.
No.
From what I can, and he seems like authentic too. It's like, how are you not a douche?
He's super appreciative.
All three of those guys, Portnoy and Kotzen, who's the least known out of any of them. You know what I mean? But they did that song, the "I'm No Angel" off the first album. If that's like 80-something, that's a fucking huge hit.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Totally. But now, I don't know what you have to do. You have to be Imagine Dragons to have a hit.
Like,
and pretend you're playing.
Yeah, pretend. It's all pretend.
Yeah, just make noises and have different, loop. I'm sorry, folks, but looping is not fucking playing music to me.
No, not at all.
You know what I mean?
If you're a solo act in the corner of a restaurant, you can use a looper.
Yeah. But because you know what, everybody's just like, oh, it's so amazing and everything. But no, you don't play with the loop. You make a band, and you make that band be cohesive and gel. Everybody's just like, oh, you just get pieces. You get a guitar player, you get this, you get a bass player, you get a drummer, and you guys just all playing. You should be playing out in like a week, right?
No,
not even fucking.
You
close.
Look how long it took us to gel. Well, I mean, and then when Chris and Greg came in, then we just hit overdrive.
Yeah, we hit overdrive because they fit in like they had been playing. Like, they joined us, and it was like they just took a week off or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and just came back, and we've been playing with them for 3 years.
And then we played a gig like 2.5 months. After they joined.
Yeah, not even 2.5 months.
Yeah.
I think it was under 2 months.
Yeah,
we played our first gig.
Crazy.
And
ridiculous.
Yeah, but it's so hard. I mean, we went through a lot of fucking people.
We kissed a lot of toads.
We did.
My wife says I'm good at karaoke.
My dog ate my lyrics.
Oh,
that was the best.
You didn't just say that, did you?
Yeah,
that was unbelievable.
Now listen, guys. My warm-up song is "I Hate Everything About You" by Ugly Kid Joe.
You guys know any Ugly Kid Joe?
Yeah.
Don't.
we're not going to learn a song for you. You're auditioning for us.
Yeah. I was in a band once, and this dude, he said he could sing, but he was like 40, never been in a band, but he sings karaoke on Friday nights.
yeah.
And like, and he goes,
rough start.
I'm not interested in learning your songs, but here are 5 songs I would like to do.
Oh, shit.
I'm like,
bye-bye.
What the fuck are you, man?
Shit.
Like on what planet do you have a fucking attitude like that?
Yeah, right?
The best one ever, though, was when I was playing with my buddy Damon down in Schenectady there. The guy, he showed up at our gig over at
Our Place.
We had this guy show up, and he said,
You played there before? I didn't know you played there
No. This is my buddy Damon showed up to our gig.
Oh,
and,
okay.
And I was playing in a project with him before Chris and Greg came along. And this guy shows up, and he tells us in like an email, well, I just auditioned for Stone Temple Pilots a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, you and 60,000 other people. Okay. The guy shows up with his own mic stand, no mic.
Mic stand, but no mic.
With scarves on it like he thinks he's Steven Tyler, okay?
Oh, my God.
And he's about 5'2". He's got like curly hair and buck teeth. Not to, looks are everything, but when you're going to be playing rock and roll, you have to have some sort of look. Anyway, come to find out, somebody came in like a couple minutes late to, audition the guy, and he's like, who's the guy out in the van? And he's like, well, he's okay. Don't worry about him. He can come in if you want. He's like, no, it's okay. This guy was working for DSS and had one of his clients sitting out in a van while he auditioned for us.
Dude, I know that guy.
Shit you know. He showed up. He showed up down at the Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
He showed up at a I was in a band. Well, we tried to get a band for like a couple of weeks. And he got there after me, but then a third dude showed up. He's like, "Who's the guy in the van?" And he's like, "Oh, he's fine."
See,
there's like some fucking mentally guy.
It's like some mentally incapacitated guy sitting out in the van. He's like, leaves him there. Yeah. Oh, he just listened to music out in the van. He'll be fine.
Now I know he probably listens. Joel probably listens. You're friends with Joel on Facebook. Do you know Joel?
Joel Pratt.
Yeah, from
Divas.
Yeah. I'm friends with him. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I was just like, how does Chris know Joel?
I just friended him from when we played.
Diva Fest.
Diva Fest, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I was just like confused by that. Because sometimes I get odd friend requests, and I'm just like, it's got to be somebody Chris, Greg, or Tom knows.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get those weird ones.
I do have one honorable mention I want to make for bass players.
I have a couple of underrated honorable mentions.
Yeah.
I have one that one honorable.
One I have actually I've talked to him like on Facebook Messenger a couple times. Super cool dude, friendly as can be. Rudy Sarzo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like every '80s band.
Yeah.
Like he's the go-to bass player of the '80s.
I mean, he went from Quiet Riot before they were known to playing with Ozzy, and then he went back to Quiet Riot, and since then he's been
Whitesnake.
He was with Whitesnake.
Whitesnake,
yeah. And
hasn't he been with Ozzy another couple of times?
I think he has. And then his last couple of stints have been interesting. He played for 5 years of Blue Oyster Cult.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
You would be Blue Oyster Cult's another one like Foreigner. Jason Bonham played for Foreigner, or Jeff Pilson of Dokken plays for Foreigner
for a while. Yeah.
And right now, of all bands that Rudy's playing with, he's playing with the Guess Who right now.
What?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Look at Bruce Kulick there from Kiss. He played Grand Funk.
He's in Grand Funk.
He still might be in Grand Funk. Yeah. These guys. Yeah, because they're
American band.
Yeah, well, because they're they want good players.
Yeah, and I mean Rudy's like a go-to guy. He can do it all. He's phenomenal.
Oh yeah, he was always
a super nice guy too.
Yeah.
I was thinking about him when I think we were at the lower end of the list. Who's your?
And if you want a good read too, Off the Rails is he wrote a whole book about his time with Ozzy for those 2 years, and right up to when Randy Rhoads died, and like for a little bit afterwards and everything like that. It's a great read. Great read.
I love a good biography.
John Myung.
Oh yeah,
Dream Theater.
Dude's ridiculous.
It's got that. He plays that bass that's got those like extra frets way down here.
Yeah, it's like,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
it's crazy, ridiculous.
Now, anybody in Dream Theater, well, maybe the exception of the singer, is like got to be extremely talented.
Yeah, no, that's real progressive shit right there. As far as I'm concerned, that's
two guys. I'm going
if
to
you
put
have any appreciation for progressive, that's it.
Two guys I'm going to put out there. One of them probably gets more credit than not is Tom Hamilton, Aerosmith.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, fucking, that's one thing I appreciate more of live Aerosmith over the years is I just never realized how they catch it until actually we've been playing a lot of Aerosmith, a couple of tunes. You don't realize how fucking just immersed in the groove they get.
Yeah. That's I never realized that either till I'm like, oh, that's really like their thing.
Oh, it's fucking Tom Hamilton and Joey Kramer lock in.
They are so tight. Yeah.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's just fucking really unbelievable.
That's why a top 5 is like almost impossible.
Yeah. And one I'm going to give credit to
We
because
pulled off a top 10 easy.
Oh yeah, I think
true.
I don't think he gets any credit as a bass player because so much other stuff overshadows it. But Gene Simmons,
yeah. Oh, yeah, you listen to that early Kiss stuff, and he's all over the place on that too. Yeah,
there's so much stuff going on underneath.
He does like melodic stuff too.
He does a lot of bass walk,
like McCartney would do or something.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
Yeah. McCartney for that matter. There.
Yeah,
and I think Paul McCartney was a big influence on Gene too.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. Yeah.
At least Gene played a full scale bass though. So
yeah. I like the dude from Yes, Chris Squire.
Oh yeah,
another monster.
The thing I liked about him, like his bass tone wasn't like anyone else. Like it was like more like trebly and like cut through.
Yep.
Like, it really jumped out at you. I'm like,
That's
what
kind
the
of
fuck is that?
early progressive.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or they're like they're on the cusp of the beginning of it. Because what is it? Really, they call don't they usually put? Actually, you probably don't think about, but the Genesis is like
the Peter.
They were Prague before. Before
they were
Gabriel left.
Yeah, they were like, but they were like the beginnings of Prague. Like a lot of people go back when they go back to the beginnings of Prague, they cite Genesis as the beginning. But Yes is definitely not too far behind them.
You can hear Steve Harris was a big fan of him too. He had a similar kind of sound.
Oh yeah,
like real like just sharp cutting, like busy as fucking hell.
Yeah, Duff McKagan's really a good bass player, but he's got such a shitty live sound. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's like real farty and
it's like in a fucking like a garbage can or something. It's like ming 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 ming.
You know what it is for a long time he played his signature Fender bass through a Gallien-Kruger, and Fender P basses through Gallien-Kruger do not sound that great.
Yeah,
it's a bad mix.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, that was the only thing that always bugged me was like, oh man, Duff. Just
if
terrible.
he was playing through like an Ampeg or something like that, he would sound way better live.
Or if he played like some kind of active pickup, like something through the Gallien-Kruger.
And I don't think Nikki Sixx gets as much credit too, because he doesn't show it. He doesn't show it off as much in Motley Crue, but he's really a great bass player.
Yeah. He was just keeping a steady beat the whole time.
Well, his influence is Pete Way.
Yeah,
from UFO. He's a huge, but he's a lot better bass player than he ever led on to being in Crue. Probably mainly because he had to write most.
Yeah, he was the songwriter for the band.
Yeah, but he was another really, really good. I'm trying to think of any other like '80s. There wasn't really any. The metal scene was so guitar oriented that bass players got so washed away and all that. So I'm trying to think of anybody, but I'm not. Wow, how did we not?
Phil Lynott?
Yeah, I was just.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, not only was he playing some really great, runs and stuff, but he's singing at the same time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Triple threat there. Yeah.
He was like Steve Harris, like he was like the guy.
Yeah.
Like it was his band.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, he's got a statue in Ireland of himself. I mean,
I know. I got to go there, man. That's the only reason I want to go to Ireland is to fucking. Like, can I go now?
Can I go now? Can I?
I want that. I want a statue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The hell with that hat on.
Yes.
With that hat.
This is the one.
And the pear knife.
That's our top 10 bass players.
I have to look at this.
Top 5.
5, sorry.
5,
4,
3,
2,
1.
That's all, folks.
Good night, everybody.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up.
Time to make the chimmy fucking chongas.
You can find us at bobandjohnspodcast@gmail.com, on buzzsprout.com, or iTunes, and
Loose and Buttery on the Twitter and Instagram.
Or Facebook Live.
And in our YouTube channel and our Facebook page at Bob and John Super Duper Variety Power Hour, and at 151online.com for all your rock and roll and 151 needs.
And, of course, don't forget our first single, Running Away, and the video. You can find those both at 151online.com.
There we go.
Hey, now.
There you go.
Did we learn anything tonight?
I don't know. I'm not going to do that with this one. I'm going to go with what are you listening to? What was the last song you listened to?
What was the last song I listened to?
Yeah.
Actually, Meadow by Stone Temple Pilots, the new single. I love that new album.
I saw you put it on the drive.
I got to check that out, too.
Take it.
I started listening to that dude Tommy Bolin, who replaced Blackmore in Deep Purple.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He did a solo album that I got from fucking Apple. And dude, it was fucking badass. Man.
Yeah.
And he was like 24.
I've heard he was a beast.
Yeah. And then he died when he was like 24 or 25.
Yeah, he didn't last too long.
I'm like, when I'm 80, I won't be that good. Like,
Yeah.
Fuck.
And he only had 24 years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's awesome.
John?
The one I was thinking we needed to have it for tonight, and I was wrong. So I don't need it until next week. But I listened to that Deep Purple one.
Hush,
Hush.
hush.
That's, yeah.
Thought I heard her calling my name now.
That's what I've been
Hush.
listening to. Yeah. Because I like for the life of me,
I was in the wrong key.
It's not my job, but you guys have to fill in some keyboard shit there. I don't know.
I haven't sat down with that yet.
Last thing I was listening to is actually a little bit of John 5.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
That guy's ridiculous.
That guy, and you know what? And he's hilarious to listen to in interviews and stuff. He's a pisser.
Yeah.
Him and Eddie Trunk, I have a good time talking.
He's like such the most down to earth.
Yep.
Yeah, and like he grew up like really rich.
Yeah.
Like servants and stuff.
Yeah.
Rich.
His dad was a auto executive.
Yeah, but like he decided like at 18 or 19 just to like move out.
Do his own thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like move out. He paid his own rent, did all that, and just started doing like studio recording, like
I gotta
basically
tell you,
session player.
It's only 8:35. I kind of feel like playing a little music. Whether you got to sit your ass down to do it or not, I kind of want that.
I'm cool with that.
I could do that for a couple
See
songs.
That? Yeah, no, I'm playing.
All right, I guess I know what we're doing next, folks.
Yeah, that's
See you again soon.
Back goes Serrano. He'll need a rocket up his ass to catch this one.
No matter what you hear in there, no matter how cruelly I beg you, do not open this door.
John says to us all the time.
That's right. Just being honest, straight up and forward.
All right, well, we've only been doing this for an hour and a half.
That's all?
Not bad. Not bad at all.
That's only a top 5 with 4 of us. Can you
Felt
imagine
like-
if
felt like
Greg
30
was really here?
minutes.
Greg could have stretched us out for another hour.
Oh, we could have done a 2-hour
we'd be
episode,
going
yeah.
and going and going.
and
No-
going and
no
going.
problemo.
No offense, Greg.
My nutsack on your drum set. I got it.
All right, one more time for Chris.
First, take a big step back and literally fuck your own face.
All right.
Such rage in that.
Yeah. Such rage.
He's a little angry.
He's so angry.
He's a little angry man that time.
He's a little angry man. All right, time to say goodnight, boys.
Good night, boys.
Good night, boys.
Stadler?
Yeah, what?
Is that it?
Yes, it's over. How'd you like it?
I don't know. I slept through the whole thing.
Well, you didn't miss much.
I fart in your general direction. Your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberries.